Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my review for episode 1 of Helluva Boss. So right off the bat, I want to say I had seen the pilot and everything, and just quick thoughts on the pilot as a reminder. I've mentioned this in the past, but it's been a while, so. When I saw the pilot of Helluva Boss, I didn't like it. Like this was coming off of Has Been Hotel, and I loved Has Been Hotel. Hell of a Boss felt like, despite being made by a lot of the same people and being in the same universe and the same brainchild of Vivian Madrano, it just it felt like a knockoff, like a cheap knockoff of Has Been Hotel. It felt like it was trying to capitalize on the popularity of it without actually having anything that made Has Been Hotel great. It just didn't work for me. The humor wasn't there. The characters were honestly boring and not really that likable. And obviously, you know what I mean when I mean likable in this kind of universe. The story of the pilot itself was just kind of very bland and unenjoyable, uninteresting. It never really caught my attention, so it never could keep it. Um, and honestly, I just didn't care. And it's not just because it wasn't Has Been Hotel at that point, because I wanted to see more from this universe that Vivian and her team and all had been making for years and years and years. That wasn't the issue. The issue was I just felt it wasn't up to the same quality. In fact, it wasn't even close. Just everything about it was like so much weaker. The only thing I could really give it at that point was like the voice acting and the animation, which were good. Um, but even then, I still think they were better in Has Been Hotel. They just felt more believable. Um, and the entire appeal of Richard Horvitz being in it, by the way, never like really appealed to me that much because I never liked Invader Zim. So like that wasn't a big appealing point to me either. Um, but anywho, so just recently, the actual first episode came out because unlike Has Been Hotel, which is going to be sent to a streaming service, um, this series is being done on YouTube. And so it's going to be interesting, to say the least, to see where this goes. Um, so this first episode, what did I think about it compared to the pilot, which, as I mentioned, I did not like? This first episode was actually leagues better than the pilot. It still was not on the level of Has Been Hotel. Not even really close. But it was so much better. The voice acting felt better on every account. And in that topic, before we continue on, yeah, I know the girl demon. I believe her voice was changed. Um, Mitzi, I think her name is, because Moxie is Richard Horvitz's character. I know that. I think it's Mitzi. Her voice was apparently changed and everything. I didn't notice at first when I first watched it because none of these characters are memorable enough for me to have noticed from the pilot. But I went back and listened to it, and I like the new voice much better. Honestly, it just it feels like it fits more. It feels just better acted, and all of them felt better acted. Honestly, the only one who I can honestly say didn't really change much is Moxie. Like his performance didn't his Richard Horvitz's performance didn't really change much. But the rest of them sound like they've definitely improved drastically, which was definitely needed. The animation is better. It definitely shows a different kind of style to Has Been Hotel, which is honestly good. And definitely feels more polished than in the pilot. The humor is actually there. Like there's actually humor to it now, and it's actually pretty good humor. Again, it's not Has Been Hotel quality, but it's going to be very hard to replicate that in another show at this point, even from the same team and people and all. It was very good nonetheless, though. And yeah, even the story, like the story, as I mentioned in the pilot, like I don't even really remember what it was about. I think they were like there was this kid or something that they were gonna kill or whatnot. Or no, they went there. They were gonna kill someone else. They accidentally hurt this kid, and then they found out the kid was a psychopath or something, and killed him anyway, or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it's like it just felt boring to me, and like it was trying way too hard. This one was so much better in its story and the presentation of said story. Um, so for those who haven't seen the first episode of this, I am going to talk about spoilers now. So just letting you know, there will be spoilers going forward. Okay. So in the first episode here, we follow a new mission. We find out there's this teacher who was a good person, good teacher generally, but at one point she did a video call to her husband and found out that he was cheating on her. She went to the house, killed him, and tried to kill the woman he was cheating with before committing suicide herself. Down in hell, she finds out that the woman survived, and so she hires Blitz and his crew to kill the woman to finish it off. Especially because after the incident, she had gotten famous and rich, basically because of her story. Because people hailed her as a hero for surviving despite everything she had done. So the team goes down to take her out, but it eventually is revealed that her and her current family, her husband and two kids, yeah, they're a psycho cannibal, like murderer family. And it's like that reveal was so unexpected. Like, I actually did not expect that. Like, when they first started bringing out the guns and everything, like, I'm thinking, like, okay, they're gonna be like these rednecks or something. They're gonna be these hunters, maybe. And it's like, okay, I can deal with that. Even with the kids bringing out the guns, I thought, okay, that's a bit of a funny joke. It's like, okay, even the kids are in on it. But I didn't expect the cannibalism aspect of it. I didn't expect them to go full horror movie with the presentation on the episode. Like there were certain points of it where it's like just this extreme horror tone, and it was actually really well done in that regard. Um, and so the team ends up getting chased around the woods by these psychopaths, and Blitz and Mitzi even get caught and tied up, being tried to be burned at the stake to return to hell. Because apparently these people are Satanists as well. They, from the context of what they've said and everything. But in the end, um, the woman is killed, shot through the head. Um, and then it's like, okay, their job is done, so they're getting ready to go. But Moxie calls the cops first to get the husband and kids arrested. Instead of killing them, he's just going to get them arrested. And because it's the fucking cops, they just blow the house up and kill them anyway. Because why the fuck not? So, in the end, the job is done, people are dead, and it moves on. This story was more engaging than I thought that this series could do based on the pilot. The pilot was it just lost me so quickly. It was so unengaging, so boring, so uninteresting that honestly I didn't expect much from this first episode. And honestly, I almost didn't even watch it. I kind of decided on a whim. It's like, yeah, why not? Give it a chance. Um, and it did surprise me. It was engaging. It was funny. It was interesting. Again, it was nowhere near the level of Has Been Hotel. It just wasn't. But it was still entertaining and much better than honestly the pilot could have ever prepared me for. Honestly, it felt like a different show. And I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing because it feels so far removed in terms of its quality from the pilot that it's almost jarring. Like I've seen plenty of pilots for shows, and yeah, they don't always represent the quality that the full show ends up having. That's just very much true. The pilot for Steven Universe, for example, is honestly shit. It's really bad. Um, and various other shows have had really crappy pilots too. But it's like then you get to a show like this, and it's like really crappy pilot. But then it's like the final product once it starts with like the first episode is that drastically better, and it just feels off. Like the drastic difference has not been this wide with any of these others that like you would think of. Not even again Steven Universe. It wasn't that drastic of a difference, and it's like again, it just almost feels like a different show, or like I guess more accurately, I could say it feels more like it was a reboot with different people behind it because the pilot felt so unpolished, so boring, so uninteresting, so just poorly handled. And then this comes along and it feels like different people worked on it. That's how drastic the difference in quality is. And by the way, I want to make clear I'm not trying to insult anyone who worked on the pilot. Um, I'm really not. But I just want to make clear that it's like I'm allowed to dislike something. And I really didn't like the pilot. It's personal preference. If anyone out there did love the pilot and thought it was fantastic, great. Awesome. I support and encourage that because it's only opinion, it's only my thoughts. I'm not trying to tell you you should think like me. I'm just telling you how I think. That's what a review is, or at least should be about. So yeah, yeah. Um, there were also some really fun like voices in here, like the woman, the mother of the cannibal family. She was voiced by Jinx Monsoon, who is a drag queen, and I know her also from Steven Universe. She was Emerald in Steven Universe, a very small role, but still. And she even has a song. She has a song called Cartoons and Vodka, which is really, really funny and has a phenomenal music video. Um, and then there was someone else in this. The teacher. The teacher was someone I recognize. Oh, Mara Wilson. That's it. The teacher was voiced by Mara Wilson, who, yeah. If you don't know who Mara Wilson is, can you even say you had a childhood? Can you even say you had a childhood if you did not grow up and see Matilda? Like, let's be honest. But in all seriousness, no, Mara Wilson, yeah, she was Matilda. And it's just like, I can't help but be really surprised by it. I really didn't think, I really didn't like, would never have guessed that was her. I never would have guessed that. When I found out, I actually had to do a double take and like check myself because I didn't believe it. Um, but yeah, that's wild. Um, but yeah, even the voice actors who returned did so much better a job. Brandon Rogers as Blitz, like he did so much better. Um, Again, Richard Horvitz is the only one who really didn't. because his role, his performance was pretty much the same as it was. Even the furry girl, I don't know her name. Like she's still the least interesting character, which is ironic considering like that's usually kind of my aesthetic. She's still the least interesting character to me. Um, but even her voice acting was better, even though she didn't really have much of a role in this episode. And there was the owl guy who's shown in like who's shown briefly visually in Has Been Hotel. Was he in the pilot? I don't remember him being in the pilot because I was really surprised to see him here and to hear him talk. I don't remember his name at all, but he's the one who apparently gave the imps the book that allows them to travel to the human world, to the living world. Um, I can't remember his name, but was he in the pilot? Maybe he was. It's hard for me to remember a lot from the pilot, especially since I didn't see it much because I didn't like it. But it didn't leave an impact on me. Um, but yeah, yeah. Either way, either way, I did very much enjoy this, much more than I thought I would, and definitely much more than I did the pilot. So the question at this point remains: will I react to more of this series? Since I didn't react to this first episode, will I react to the future episodes, or maybe just do reviews again? Well, the thing is, I don't even know when more episodes would be coming. I think this is one of those series that's just kind of gonna be one of those that are just whenever. An episode is just released whenever they can finish and get to it. Because you got to realize it's an independent online animation. So it's not like they have a big enough team to constantly be releasing episodes every week, unless they do have them already started and ready in the background. Um, but it's hard to say. I don't know if that's the case. But would I react to them whenever they're released? Basically, is the question. And the answer is right now I don't know. Like I said, I enjoyed this more than I thought I would, but honestly, I don't know if I'm willing to react to it yet. I'm really going to have to think about it more and really decide if I feel that it's something I really want to react to. We'll just have to see. In the meantime, thank you all so much for tuning in. And yeah, tell me in the comments below what you thought of Hell of a Boss, whether the pilot, the first episode, which I reviewed here, or both. Hell. Tell me your thoughts on Hell of a Boss down in the comments below. And thank you so much for tuning in. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.